All right, let's do this. Episode 2, ladies and gentlemen, of the Tough Podcast is going to be Humbly shitting on yourself. Kind of a weird topic, but we're going to do a little story time here and talk about what it's like being an athlete that's been an athlete that may have been a better athlete back in the day. And now you're trying to get back on it or keep up with it, or the ability to look at yourself from the past and still get after it each day. Interesting topic, but I recently have come under some self-review time. So commence story time. We'll talk about that. So while at the Arnold this year, a old soldier of mine and friend, Garber, reached out to me. It'd been years, almost probably a decade since we last talked. And he reached out and said, "Hey man, are you at the Arnold?" And I go, "Of course. Also, good to see you're doing fine." He said, "Yep, I wanted to reach out to you and I have something for you." My immediate response, probably within the first minute, was, "Am I going to jail?" So all jokes aside on that, he goes, "No, I'm keeping that. So that way I have evidence." I go, "That's fair." But he says, "I have something for you I think you'll be surprised with." And I go, "All right, cool." So I make time during the Arnold to link up with him. And we catch up and everything was good. But during that, what he had done was he tactically acquired the Alpha Company 2325 PT boards. Now, these boards, for anyone that listens to this, that knows us, and I'll even say anybody from Bravo, Charlie, Delta, anyone out of that whole unit of 2nd Brigade knew what these boards were. These boards were created by me and my cohorts there that were doing CrossFit in circa 2008, 2009, and brought CrossFit more or less to that unit. Like our commanders, they were amazing. They brought it to the unit, they taught us how, and then we just spread like wildfire. And that's where my whole fitness journey started. That's where I started coaching people how to do things. And it was extremely organic. It was just Matt understands how to do it. He's better than everyone, so ask him what he does. And like a big ooga ooga, I just started describing and teaching. But what it did was it was cool to see, but it really actually invigorated me to get my shit together. Anyone that knows me knows that I have fallen off the fitness bandwagon as a participant, we'll say. I train, I lift every now and then, but I'm not doing it for any reason. This has been my issue for a long time. I don't have a training partner, which is frustrating at times, and then also I don't want to compete anymore. There's no reason for me to. So with that said, I've basically been looking for reasons. I've wanted to do this, I've wanted to do that, but I've never committed to it. And in the end, I was like, well, why? Why the fuck do I need to commit to it? In the Army, it's different. You have a set of standards you have to uphold. You have to be the alpha. That sets the tone for everything you do, especially in the infantry, or attempt to be the alpha. And you have certain like expectations that are placed on you. CrossFit worked perfectly for us. So it's natural. It's constantly varied movements, long loads or long distances. What is it? Carry large loads long distances quickly. That's like the infantry. Whether we're on mission in combat zone or we were on a humanitarian mission, that's what we did. I loved it. I fell in love with it. Passed a lot of opportunity up to do training in CrossFit and stuff. And then CrossFit changed. And things changed, that's fine. Right? Just like most relationships. But I didn't want to continue on with it, and that's ultimately why I left and switched to only barbell stuff. But that all aside, by handing me those boards and me looking at them and seeing all the old workouts, all the old classic girl exercises, all the old movements, and we're talking old, like split jerk's not even wasn't even a track thing back then. No one cared. It was just push press and push jerk slash power jerk. It started to give me a little bit of motivation, and motivation by memory. Now, I know very humbly I'm never going to get my old scores. I know damn well my body won't do it. I know damn well I won't do it physically. I was a different person back then. I was training for SF school. I was trying to be mission ready. I was trying to be in leadership positions. It was a different time, just like many of you probably experience with being in college athlete. You're in college, you're trying to be on first string, you're trying to be the head of the pack, trying to get eyes on you by other coaches. Then you go to work after college, and then it's like, man, how the fuck do I find myself training at that intensity again, but now when it's so easy to make excuses? And that's kind of what looking at this board, and I'll put pictures in here of what the boards look like. It started getting me not realizing that I need to go that hard, but it had me realizing this is who you are and what you're capable of. And you were a leader back then, and you may be a leader now, but are you really leading from the front? There's different types of leadership. Some forms of leadership, you can lead from the side, or you can lead from right in front. And I was always a lead from the front leader until I started my own business. I'm sure there's a whole other podcast on that conversation. But I don't like being that leader. And that's what I've realized. And what I'm realizing. And this board reminded me of why I got into coaching, why I got into fitness. I used to sit there and the company we'd get released at 4:30 or 5, and I would go eat and then come back up to help so and so. Somebody would be like, "Hey, my run time's really bad. I need extra work. Hey, my deadlift, can you work on my deadlift? Hey, I got to go home take care of my kids because I'm a married guy, live off base, but if you want to come back, like I really want to get this muscle up or I really want to learn my snatch better." I would fucking sit there and all my bad habits of, we'll say, the miscellaneous things you do in the army, drinking, partying, I stopped caring about that. I loved what I was doing. I was spending extra time at work to help my peers get better. It's the fabric of my existence in fitness. It was exciting. It was fun. I got to work out with them. It was just extra time to work out. I was leading from the front by being that guy. Everyone knew they could come to that guy for extra work. And I'm not afraid to say I've kind of fallen away from that. And it's shitty to say that, but I also give myself some grace. Life happens, things happen. Shit, you can't go 100% all the time. I still love coaching, but my coaching has been different. I haven't been leading from the front, I've been leading from the side. I've been on the sidelines programming and adjusting and modifying and training by the coach aspect and less of my athletes, my soldiers, effectively, seeing me do it, talking the talk, walking the walk. And I've always said you don't need to be a great coach and be a national level athlete. You don't need to do muscle ups to teach muscle ups. But I will go back and catch myself and say, but you should do something. You should be performing somehow. And I think that's one of the things by looking at these boards that I've realized is that I wasn't who I was. And I think it comes to terms with I kind of need to start subtly shitting on myself in the sense of, hey man, be who you were. If that young buck specialist Adam Check saw you now as a coach, how would he evaluate you? I'd say confidently he knows you've developed as a coach. You know more things than he ever fucking knew. Anyone that knew me coaching back then, that was about the equivalent of a sharpened rock to tailored machinery I am now, or like to think I am. But the athlete, the active person, the person everyone could literally call and be like, I'm going on a ruck march. Do you want to join? I want to go do a workout in the morning. Do you want to join? I haven't been that person. And I want to be. And again, I know I'm not going to be who I was. That's fine. So my conquest is I'm doing every workout on this fucking board. All these classic girl workouts, the named WODs, even that stupid fucking workout Murph, I will be doing. Because that's what old me would expect of me. He wouldn't take the excuses. He understands this version of me is 38. But that old version of me also trained with and participated with and was on mission with people that were 38. And we dreamed to be like how they were. And I haven't been holding up that end of the bargain. So that's where I am. And I encourage you, whether you played soccer in high school or as a kid, or you were an athlete in the past, use this as maybe your own beacon to look at yourself years ago and decide, man, what would that person say about me now? Sure, I'm successful. Sure, I have a job. Sure, I have a family. But the shit that made me smile and happy and feel good inside, and how I pushed myself, am I doing that anymore? Because you can push yourself at 45 years old, at 50 years old, you're gonna feel how you used to feel. You're gonna feel like you gave it your all. You're gonna feel like you're trying. You're gonna feel like you're getting in better shape and taking care of your brain and body. You don't need to sit there and try to beat your old numbers and beat your old time. It's about what it means. And that's my challenge to you if you're listening to this. Be the person old you would expect to see 5-10 years later down the road. It's an interesting thought, but sometimes we kind of have to humbly shit on ourselves. And when you're getting that thought, like right now I have, before I go do fucking Cindy, tell yourself, hey dude, get the fucking work. Because that's what you used to do, and that's what you're all about, and what you used to be about. You're better than this. So, go shit on yourself. Tell yourself what's up. Get the moves going. Whether that's choosing better food, going to bed at the right time, taking time out of your day to spend with somebody that used to be a friend. Tell yourself, humbly shit on yourself. Hey, you're better than this. Get after it. Hope it helps.